Mind is just a shadow. Attempts to catch it and control it are futile. They are just shadows chasing shadows. Those are the words of Annamalai Swami, and believe it or not, they contain a complete spiritual instruction.
The mind as a shadow. It's such a powerful image, right? But to really make this idea work for us, we need to get why this metaphor is so perfect. So let's really dig into what it means. Okay, so just think about a shadow for a second. What is it really? It has no substance of its own, it's just an absence of light. Well, Annamalai Swami says our mind is exactly the same. Its thoughts feel so real, but they're basically illusory. A shadow follows you everywhere, right? Just like our mind seems to be this constant companion. And here's the real key. A shadow is only created when something blocks the light. In the same way, the mind is seen as an absence of self-awareness, a kind of darkness we create by blocking the light of who we really are. This brings us to this incredible idea of the false tiger. You know, the classic example, you walk into a dark room, see a rope on the floor, and for a split second, you think it's a snake. The fear you feel is 100% real, but the threat, it's not there. The mind is just like that. It creates these thoughts, anxiety, worry, self-doubt, that feel like huge, dangerous tigers. But their power to hurt us comes only from our belief that they're real. Okay, that's the theory. It makes sense, right? But how does knowing the mind as a shadow actually help us? Let's get practical and look at the first application, personal growth. Come on, we have all been here. We want to stop procrastinating, or stop overeating, or get off our phones. So what's our go-to strategy? We try to fight it. We use willpower. We beat ourselves up. We try to force our mind into submission. But this teaching shows us that this is literally like trying to fight a shadow. You can't punch a shadow into submission. All you're going to do is completely exhaust yourself. So here's where we pivot completely. Instead of fighting that impulse, you just watch it. That urge to procrastinate pops up. See it for what it is, just a movement in the mind, a passing shadow. Don't engage with it, don't argue with it, just let it be. And then, and this is the most important part, you just recognize the truth. This thought isn't me. It has no real substance. And suddenly, all that energy you were wasting on the internal battle, it comes right back to you, and that old habit starts to lose its power. Now, this very same principle is an absolute game changer when it comes to our emotional well-being and finding some real inner peace. Anxiety, worry, fear, these feelings can be so overwhelming, they feel so solid, don't they? We get completely tangled up in their stories. An anxious thought shows up, and we immediately grab onto it. We believe it, and we start treating it like a real and present danger. We basically bring the false tiger to life, and then we're surprised when we suffer from its imagined bite. So what's the antidote? Next time you feel that anxiety rising, just try this. First, just feel the raw physical sensation of it, that tightness in your chest, the churning in your stomach, without putting the label anxiety on it. Second, and this is the really radical part, do nothing about the anxious thought. Seriously. Just let it float by like a cloud in the sky. And finally, gently shift your focus from the thought itself to the silent awareness that's watching it all happen. When you stop feeding the thought with your belief, the anxiety runs out of fuel. It just dissolves. Okay, this inner work stuff is great, but what about the real world? What about actually achieving our goals? Well, this teaching has a direct and really powerful application here too. You know the moment you decide to start a new project? The mind immediately kicks up this storm of shadows. What if it fails? What if I get rejected? What will other people think? These doubts drain our motivation and kill our creative energy. We get stuck in this analysis paralysis, trying to solve every single what if before we've even taken the first step. And what are we doing when we try to solve doubt by thinking even more? It's exactly what the quote says. It's just shadows chasing shadows. You're using the mind to try and fix a problem that was created by the mind. It's an exhausting, dead-end loop. So the practical way forward is to just let the shadows go. Stop trying to plan for every possible disaster. Instead, just bring all of your attention right here to this moment and ask yourself, what is the one obvious, actionable thing I can do right now? By doing just that one thing with total clarity, you free up a massive amount of energy for what actually matters. And finally, let's bring this teaching all the way home, back to its source, its ultimate application, our spiritual growth and self-realization. You see, the entire practice of self-inquiry, as it's taught in this tradition, is hiding inside this one idea.
Instead of getting lost in the shadows, all the thoughts, emotions, and stories, the instruction is to turn your attention around and find the source of the mind itself. Where are these thoughts even coming from? Who is it that's aware of them? And this is a practice you can do anytime, anywhere. When thoughts show up, instead of following them down the rabbit hole, just turn your attention back toward that sense of I that's aware of them. And notice that this awareness is always here. It's silent, it's peaceful, and it's totally untouched by any mental chaos. The whole practice is simply to rest here as this awareness, as the self, rather than getting caught up in the temporary role of the thinker. So as we bring this all together, the message becomes incredibly simple and clear. It all boils down to this. Your real work on the spiritual path and just in the path to a more peaceful, effective life isn't about becoming a better shadow fighter. It's not about getting more willpower or smarter mental tricks. The work is simply to stop giving the shadow all of your attention, and instead to turn toward the light that's creating it in the first place, your own pure, unchanging awareness. And that really leaves us with the one essential question to take with you. In your own life, with your own unique challenges, your own thoughts, your own goals, what happens when you finally, truly, stop chasing the shadow?